Hey, what's up, y'all? This is DJ Wiz from Kid and Play, and I'm listening to ESP, and don't y'all know it's a house party up in here? You better tune in. Holla.
Good evening and welcome to ESP
and JAX. Look, we started the show laughing, okay? So join in on the laughter. We're not even going to redo that because we all need to laugh right now. What do you think, S? What do you think?
I think you are so right because even the birds' timing was good with this tonight. How are you guys? As you can see, we're kind of just all over the place with the laughter, as Jax has said. And I have Jax back. I'm so happy my Jax is back. They missed you. So I missed you too. So what's going on?
You guys. Are you recording?
I sure am. Yes.
Okay. All right. Now back into it like nothing ever happened.
I thought we were keeping that.
Yeah, we are. So you can just keep going now. I just wanted to make sure before we got too deep.
So I was asking you how you are.
Okay, ask me again.
The birds are asking you how you are too. What's going on?
First of all, the birds are eating me out of house and home. Like, you know, I'm not fully open here. And they're not social distancing, so I got owls and cardinals and sparrows. Oh my.
Are they wearing masks? Oh my God. Ooh. So they got a memo that you were open for business. Is that what it is?
I think I'm the only restaurant on the block, for real.
Oh.
For real.
Okay.
But speaking of masks and birds, and well, before we go there, should we tell them how they can watch us, how they can watch the show?
Yes, we should before we start giggling our way through something else. So, Jax, how do they watch the show?
What if I giggle my way through this list?
Okay.
You guys may be watching us right now on Facebook Live, but you can also listen to us on iHeartRadio and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can check us out on YouTube Live as well, Tuned In and Anchor, Breaker, Radio Public. You can see us on Twitch Live, Stitcher, and check us out on Overcast, or Pocket Cast. But let's say you have a question, you want to get in touch with us. S is going to tell y'all how you can do that.
Well, you know, Jax, we have a phone number that if you want to text us, you can text us at 516-400-7269. Or if you want to call us and leave us a message if we don't pick up, 929-336-7887. We're also on IG at ESP Real Talk. We're on Twitter at ESP Speak and also Speaks ESP. And you know what? If you want to have some fun and you're hanging out on the internet, why don't you jump on over to Jaxology and check out her page, because she has a lot of fun stuff over there. And those of you who are always asking me about her recipes, guess what? She houses them all right there as well. So there are a myriad of ways that you can get in contact with us through email as well, because we are at espspeak@espspeak.com, or we're at espspeak@gmail.com. So we'd love to hear from you. Stop on by, leave a comment, let us know what you think, or leave us a suggestion, or write us a joke, just something that'll make us smile. Got anything else, Jax? Anything that I missed, maybe?
I don't think you can miss too much with that.
Okay, yeah, that was a lot. But
Yeah.
You know what? Before we go any further, I want to say to the family that's listening, happy Mother's Day. For some of us who, this is a really funny, not funny haha, but funny, strange in the heart weekend, because some of us have lost our moms, and some of us are in the beginning of the process where this might be the first Mother's Day that they have been without their mom. And I am on my 10th Mother's Day that I've been without my mom. But to those who don't have moms with you, my heart is with you, and I'll keep you in my prayers. And if you're a mom, happy Mother's Day. And for those of you who have your mothers, be blessed, enjoy, and suck in all of those wonderful moments. Okay, snap out of it. Let's go. So now, Dax, this week, we are talking about, are we ready yet? Our mayor has decided that it's time to open up the entire city. I'm going to try to be good. I'm going to try to be nice. We're going to be talking about vaccines. We're going to be talking about school. We're going to be talking about people going back to work, getting on MTA. I mean, there's so much uncertainty. There's so much fear. The question is, are we really ready yet? I do not think so, but let's take a look at this quick video and let's hear the buffoon speak for a moment, and then we'll come back and we'll sit down and talk about it. Stay tuned.
Our plan is to fully reopen New York City on July 1st. We are ready for stores to open, for businesses to open, offices, theaters, full strength. Because look, what we're seeing is people have gotten vaccinated in extraordinary numbers, 6.3 million vaccinations in New York City to date. We're doing a lot to reach people at the grassroots. I love this part. The American Museum of Natural History is providing free vaccinations under the blue whale and giving away free admissions for anyone who comes. 4 free admissions if you get vaccinated. Go over and do it today, everyone. But look, we know the vaccination effort is going to grow and grow. We got to keep working hard at that.
Family, we're here. We're back. We'd like to know how you feel, so please type in the comments. Let us know as we're going through the show what your feelings are. Because we're here looking, although we're looking at you in this way, we're looking at you over there in the chat as well. So feel free to make comments on this craziness. Because have we hit herd immunity yet? Jax, vaccinations are a big thing with you. Let's hear what you have to say on that one.
Well, I mean, as we stand right now, we've got about a third of the population vaccinated, either fully vaccinated, or at least most people have their second shots now. And I feel like we need to be at about 70%, 2/3 of the population, not even to reach herd immunity, but just to back this virus off a little bit. We've got this strain B117, I believe it is, it's very easy to communicate between people. And with anti-vaxxers, vaccine hesitancy, vaccines have slowed at this point, but right now there's something we're facing with young people. Most of our elder people are vaccinated via nursing homes, care facilities, but the age group 20 to 49, that is the group that is right now the hurdle that we have to climb. Most adults under the age of 35 say that they don't plan on getting the shot. And I guess that's because they feel invulnerable. And when you're a certain age, you feel like you can tackle the world. Nothing is going to hurt you. They feel like, if I get COVID, I probably won't get a bad case. Mostly old people get the bad cases. But here's the thing with COVID. We don't know how it affects us in the long run. And now you have a lot of young people coming into emergency rooms. They suffered a mild case of COVID, but now they're dealing with what they're now calling long COVID. And you don't have to catch a bad case of COVID in order for it to wreck your life. So you can have a mild case of it, but in turn, it does something to your respiratory system. We have people now that are generating a high response, a high immunity response to COVID, which then turns into a syndrome called cytokine. And it's affecting your respiratory system. So, okay, you're not wearing a mask, you didn't get vaccinated, you caught a mild case, but now you're dealing with long-term symptoms. And that can include anything from body aches, bad respiratory systems, loss of smell, taste. There's a lot of young people now that are losing weight because they can't eat. They don't want to eat because they can't taste the food. And I think it's just a false sense of I'm invincible. It's not going to get me. So I think it's very important right now. Studies have shown that, we had a lot of Black and brown people in communities that were hesitant. And we have Republican white men that are adamant or hesitant about not getting the vaccine. So there was a study done and they showed that in communities of Black and brown people, when they got education on the vaccine, how it works, what it does, how it protects, then they became more readily available to say, okay, I'm going to get it. But on the flip side of that, COVID has been so politicized to the point where white Republican men feel like COVID was just a chance for Democrats to get at Republicans. We know this is not true, but they are going to be one of the hardest subsets in order for this nation to get to herd immunity. Now, I'm looking at maps the other night and I see almost across the board, Republican states have deleted mask mandates, almost fully open, big gatherings without masks, it's okay. And Democratic states across the board still have mask mandates for indoors. Now, we have been told, we don't have to have them outdoors, which is great, especially if you're vaccinated. So we can move on from where we are. But if we don't have enough people vaccinated, we're not gonna get rid of this pandemic. It's going to be with us much longer. So when they're saying getting back to normal, I hate to use the term new normal, but when are we ever normal after something major happens? Were we normal after the AIDS epidemic? Were we normal after Ebola? Were we normal after January 6th? So there's not going to be a normal. And just one last thing, what really just gets my goat is that as Americans, we feel so entitled and so privileged that I don't have to wear your mask. I don't have to go by your mandates. It's almost like we cannot sacrifice a little bit in order to gain a lot of bit. You know what I mean? If we would have stuck with the regulations early in 2020, we could have probably been back to normal. At this point, I think the hardest population is going to be 20 to 49. So are we ready yet? I don't think that we are ready for crowded event spaces. Broadway's going to open up in September. That's enough time from now to maybe have gained much more traction. But hopefully they will look at the situation before just opening and, you know, really evaluate what's going on with this virus.
That was a lot.
In a nutshell.
And as you're speaking, I'm taking notes, and that was a lot. You said something towards the end with regard to if we were following mandates from the very beginning and doing the right thing, we'd have been ahead of the game in terms of wearing the masks and so on. We didn't have the mandates because they weren't making them mandates. The president at that time was busy sweeping this under the rug, trying to make us feel that it was just another flu virus. And with all of the things that you said, all I could keep thinking of on top of listening to you, looming above me was the 2,000 people a day that are being burned in funeral pyres in India right now, because that's an example of it going buck wild, and the privilege that you spoke about, because that's a reality. It's not speculative. They are dying and cannot filter those bodies quickly enough into burials, so they're burning them. Okay, let's go back. White Republican men, you weighed them with the Black and brown community getting education about these vaccines and seeing the clarity in they work, they don't work, they can work, this is what they could do, this is how they can protect. And these were supposed to be, you said education, these were supposed to be the uneducated population, yet you're telling me the ones who have the world in their pocket, white Anglo-Saxon Republican men who are controlling our electoral, who are controlling our economy, they can't see the value? I mean, did I get that clearly?
Clearly, it is targeted education on the vaccine. They don't see it because it has been politicized. That's basically it. When you have a president, like you said, who isn't instituting mandates, who isn't out there setting an example wearing masks, and these are your supporters, they're going to do what you do. He was taken to the hospital with COVID, lied to us basically about how bad his case was, although we could see it. And when he came back to the White House, what was the first thing he did? He removed his mask in defiance. So it doesn't matter with that subsection how much education there is on it. They don't want to hear it because there's no COVID. This is all a political game to hurt Republicans in their eyes. So
that's way way, way, way too dangerous for my mind to wrap around this. And I'm going
That's
to
why I
segue in.
say, I'm
That's why
sorry.
you
That's why
say,
I say
no,
I
go ahead.
don't know about getting back to normal.
Well, let's deal with that phrase. I don't believe that there is a normal after this. First of all, normal wasn't working. Our normal wasn't working. This thing came in and shook up what was our normal. So obviously, normal wasn't sufficient enough, or we would have been prepared. So the new normal, we don't even know what that is. Okay. Um, this is a lot for me to unpack. Forgive me for staggering through this because it's a lot for me to unpack. And I constantly, when I'm in subjects where I have to talk about this, again, my mind is dealing on several levels because I go through all the other vaccines in the course of history and I try to weigh out what makes sense. People were getting polio, they developed the vaccine, we started taking the vaccine. I haven't heard of anybody having polio in years. Measles, same case. Chickenpox, same case. Mumps, same case. Rubella, same case. So we have a new thing that requires a vaccine, which we've had years and years and years and years of practice on creating vaccines. In fact, I've spoken to several doctors at the top of their fields who addressed the fact that people said this vaccine was rushed. It was not, because COVID has been on the books for 20 years. It's just this designation of COVID that changed. So they've been developing the base, the root of the vaccine for years. Okay, so now it presents itself. We complete the vaccine. We're now starting to use the vaccine. And haven't the numbers gone down? Hasn't the vaccine? Go ahead.
The numbers have gone down. Unfortunately, in a lot of states, levels plateaued at a higher number than they would have wanted pre-vaccination. But yes, numbers are overall going down every day. And that's because vaccines are going up, but now we're slowing on vaccines. So, and we're working with this subset that is vaccine hesitant. So the next couple of months should tell us a lot.
Here's my concern with regard to the vaccines. And I'm going to quickly drop this. If you want to talk on this, we can, because I have a note to move to something else. But here is my concern. We've developed the vaccine. We've started taking the vaccine. There are different strains that are coming in on top of the inoculants of the vaccine. What's going to happen from a scientific standpoint, and this is practical information that has been proven in the long run, that if we don't get everybody to the same level of vaccination, when these strains start coming in, they start creating a whole new level of battle in the system. So because only half of us are vaccinated and the other half is not vaccinated, and it's still propagating through the unvaccinated and leaping and growing and changing, the vaccine that was taken by the inoculated bunch is not going to work at the strength that it needs to work at. So they are still going to be at risk to these new versions that are coming along. And these versions are even going to be more strenuous because they're now jumping to the people who were inoculated, who have a higher level of fight. So the viruses themselves grow to match the level of fight. So we're developing something even greater than when we started. If we could all just take the vaccine and get to the same level, it wouldn't have anywhere to jump to. It wouldn't have anybody to go to. Does that make sense, what I just said?
It makes a lot of sense. And that's one point that I want to bring up about you getting the vaccine if you're hesitant. I'll be honest, I don't get the flu shot. The flu is a different thing. Okay. And I was hesitant about getting this shot early. I wanted to kind of lay in a cut, and see what was going to happen. But then when I thought about it, the vaccine is not just for me. It's for people around me, because if I don't get vaccinated, I can spread it. So I don't want to be responsible for anybody else getting COVID. Some people would say, why would you care if your neighbor has a shot? Well, I would care because even if I'm vaccinated, I'm not 100%. I'm about 95, 98%. But if you're coming to me with COVID and it's a new strain of COVID, you could possibly infect me. So I don't want to do that to you, and I don't want you to do that to me. Get the shot. I'm going to tell you now, everyone says that, the first shot or the second shot is going to make you feel bad. And so I got my second shot yesterday, and I don't know, maybe I'm a mutant or something, but I had no side effects. And I think a lot of that also is a mind game. In the beginning, I was thinking, oh, I'm dreading this second shot because I'm going to feel bad and all of this. But I went into it and I'm like, it's not going to be anything. And it wasn't. It really wasn't. So I'm feeling good because I'm double jabbed. And so I'm protecting you. I'm protecting you.
I still haven't had my second shot, by the way. And that will change. I mean, it's just a matter of scheduling for me at this point and some other life things happening. But what do you feel with regard to these vaccination passports that they're talking about? Because not only is New York City open up, the rest of the world is opening up, and you're not going to be able to travel overseas in Europe unless you have a vaccination. And half of my family is in Europe. So you're putting me into a position where, okay, let's go back to these white Anglo-Saxon Republican men. How are they going to bypass that? At some point, you're going to hit a wall where you have to get vaccinated. Even with the kids, they're talking about sending them back to school in the fall. You can't go back into a New York City school building without the COVID vaccination, just like you can't go in without a chickenpox, measles, or rubella. So it's becoming standardized in vaccination. So how are they going to fight that? What do you feel about that?
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's another fight on the frontier. Republicans are dead set against vaccination passports because they think that it sounds elitist. And my thought is, you have to have vaccine registrations, vaccine records when you go to school. If you travel to other countries that require vaccinations, you have to have records of those. So why is COVID any different? I don't, and there was another poll done with people, and this is how tricky the human brain can be. If you said to them, vaccination passport, no, we don't want any part of it. That sounds like too much government and blah, 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 blah. If you call it if you call it vaccine verification, it's a whole different ballgame. Okay, I can do that. At the end of the day, it's the same thing. We just want to know that you're vaccinated so you can come in, enjoy our venue and not have to social distance. You can come to our country and not have to quarantine or not have to be worried. It's just the politicization of everything that is just mind-boggling.
We, family, are going to take a quick break so we can kind of breathe in and breathe out on this subject. In the meantime, just take a minute to write your comments in the field so we can take a look at them, and when we come back, we'll discuss. We'll be back in a second. The DSP speaks in the chat.
Rant over. Hey everybody, what's good? It's Jax, and I am back for an all new episode of All jacked up. Now, I can hear you through the screen. You're like, what took her so long? It's about time she came back. Well, you're right. It is about time. So before we start the show, let me remind you to take care of your business. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, hit the like button on this video, and turn on that notification bell so you'll know each time I upload a new episode of the show or maybe another rando video. Okay? Let's get started. First up, it is time for my absolute favorite segment. What did you say?
Marry a girl who's 11 years younger than him. So I suggested, yes, if they get a prenup.
Wait, you want a prenup? Okay, now look, I don't want a prenup. I don't want a prenup. I want a warranty.
If they see that a lot, they'll kind of get adapt to it, and it won't be shocking to them.
They'll get adapt to it? Look, I think you need to get adapted to adding ED to some of your words. Now, I'm not talking about erectile dysfunction. Ain't nobody gonna get adapt to that.
I don't have it. She made my car, disappeared.
Okay, so now you're using ED where it doesn't even need to be. And again, I am not talking about erectile dysfunction now.
And it got pounded.
Your car got pounded? Dang, I envy your car, honey. But wait, that reminds me. You know what? Men are just like cars because they're always pulling out without checking to see if someone else is coming.
Senators will have to decide if they believe Donald John Trump incited the erection.
What did you say?
Incited the erection.
Schumer, come on, where's your mind at?
Insurrection.
I can't stop thinking about erectile dysfunction.
Good evening, I'm Dana Tyler here on CBS 2 and streaming on CBS and New York. Those long delays on New Jersey Transit.
Dana, I'm going to give you a whole break right now, okay? Because I don't think that was a mistake. It really is New Jersey Transit. In this next clip, this is your brain.
It's not done yet?
Nope. They just
What?
got the first stage started.
No way.
Yeah.
Dad,
What?
I love you.
I love you
Can you
too.
see me?
Yep.
Can I see you?
Nope.
Why?
Because you need to rest.
Now, this is your brain on some really, really, really good drugs.
I know I need to rest. I need to put my hands down, my head back, and take a nap.
I heard you're having a good time.
Alright? Oh, I'm having a good time, alright?
You are?
Well, yeah.
Good.
Good
Hell
night.
yeah.
I love you too.
Show
You're
me your
welcome.
tits.
What did you say?
Show me your tits. I'm just messing around.
Hey, quit.
I know, I'm so
Quit.
high.
Tell her you're sorry.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to say that. You guys give me an extra dose. This is crazy. I ain't never heard nothing like it. Get this on Snapchat. Yeah, it's just me and you?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
You be respectful when women come in.
I know, I'm sorry. Hey, guys.
How you feeling?
Pretty good.
I heard you were feeling good.
Yeah, sorry for what I said earlier.
Oh, I wasn't in here. Did you say something mean?
Yeah, I said something. I told her to show me the tits. I didn't mean to, you know? It was just out of instinct. I'm so in pain right now.
You're still in pain?
I mean, I'm not in pain. I'm just high.
Yeah.
Am I going to be alright?
You got a cool rod in your leg.
I had a cool rod?
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! Rod!
Can you wiggle
Dad, you
it?
taking a video of all this?
Can you wiggle
Oh, yeah,
your
this
toes?
getting 2,000 shares on Facebook.
This mofo is laid out in the hospital bed and all he can think about is social media.
Yeah, I can wiggle my toes. Can you feel them?
Yep. Can you push down on my hands?
Hell yeah, I can push down on your hands.
And bring your toes to your nose.
Hell yeah, I can bring my hands to my nose.
Your hands to your nose.
Hell
nose
yeah.
to your nose.
Nose to my nose? What the hell? What do you want me to do with that, girl?
Next up, it is time for Put Your Back Into It. babies when they're coming into the world. That is some violent ish right there. But wait, I'm gonna roll that back because I want you to look at the little girl standing right behind them. Look at their reaction. Yo, if somebody did that to me when I was that little, I'd be like, just put me back in the womb. In this next clip, I'm just gonna assume this is what happens when you have a house full of boys.
Say it's new. Would you please get us water? Go with Noah. Be really quiet. We're gonna go so high. Here we go. Oh my God! Yo! Go. Holy crap. Holy crap.
That man of mine would not live to see another day. Well, that's it, y'all. That is all she wrote. You are all jaxed up. I'm actually going to do a video to show you guys step by step what I have to do to produce this show. And then maybe you'll cut me a little bit of slack. How about that? I want you to join me here again next time when I bring you another all new episode of All Jaxed Up. But in the meantime and in between time, y'all be good. And we're back. That's right. I wanted y'all to catch up. That's right. Wow. So, like, that was a lot of information. Look, she can't even stop. That was a lot of information on vaccines, and we still have more. So I think we need to make this a two-parter. What do you think?
Definitely, because you know what?
Yeah.
It's Mother's Day. So let's let them, we're gonna let you chill for Mother's Day, but we're gonna continue this next week. And I'm gonna start with a big subject, and I want you guys to write in on this and type in on this and call in on this. Bill and Melinda Gates. They've been wrapped in this whole vaccine controversy from the very beginning. Now all of a sudden we gonna have a divorce. We're opening up with that one next week. In the meantime, in between time, we are going to take our leave of you. You have a great weekend. Enjoy your mamas. Take her out, because mothers deserve everything. So splurge. And we will see you next time on ESP&JAX.
And JAX speaks.